People think revenge is just anger, but history shows it can grow into something far more dangerous, and the truth behind this story will leave you stunned in seconds. Pierre Picaud was a simple French shoemaker dreaming of marriage, but one moment of jealousy from people he trusted turned his entire life into a nightmare that never truly healed. His engagement to a wealthy woman shocked everyone around him, and behind their forced smiles, 3 so-called friends burned with envy that twisted into something darker than simple hate. They secretly reported him as a British spy, a crime punished without mercy in that era, and Picaud's life collapsed before he even understood what was happening. Soldiers dragged him away on his wedding week, leaving him confused, terrified, and begging for answers that never came, and no one stepped forward to defend him that day. Inside a cold prison cell, Pierre believed he would die forgotten, but fate placed him beside an Italian priest who held a secret capable of reshaping everything Pierre thought he lost. The priest shared wisdom, comfort, and finally a shocking confession. He knew the location of a massive hidden treasure buried years earlier, far from any soldier or greedy hands. Before dying, the priest entrusted the treasure to Pierre, believing his heart carried both suffering and strength, and that combination could turn fortune into something meaningful. When Pierre walked free years later, he had nothing from his old life except fury and a memory of every face that betrayed him the day he was taken. He found the treasure exactly as promised, wealth large enough to rewrite destinies, and instead of celebrating, he quietly disappeared and began constructing a new identity from shadows. Pierre studied his former friends with patient obsession, watching their habits, weaknesses, secrets, and lies, building a map of their lives just like the map that led him to treasure. He discovered they were now comfortable men with families, businesses, and reputations built on the silence of the man they once destroyed without any hesitation. Pierre didn't rush for violence. He wanted understanding first, wanted to know exactly what they valued most, because that's where he planned to strike without warning. He inserted himself into their world like a ghost, pulling invisible strings that slowly broke their stability, letting fear grow around them while none knew the storm approaching. One man lost his money through a collapse Pierre engineered carefully, cutting every support he had until bankruptcy crushed him in front of everyone who once trusted him. Another man's darkest secrets were exposed publicly, destroying his social standing, leaving his family disgusted, and turning him into a lonely shadow of the wealthy man he pretended to be. The third man faced the deepest fall when he was tricked into confessing everything he did to Pierre, and after that night, he reportedly was never seen again. Finally came Lupien, the ringleader, the one whose jealousy poisoned all the others, and Pierre decided his punishment would be slow, precise, and unforgettable. Lupien's money disappeared, his social circle abandoned him, and his once proud household crumbled piece by piece until he had nothing left except fear and confusion. Only then did Pierre reveal himself, standing before the man who ruined him, explaining every step of revenge with calm clarity that chilled Lupien more than any weapon. Pierre told him, "You stole my entire life, so I took yours apart slowly, so you could feel every second of the pain you gave me." Lupien reportedly broke completely after this, unable to understand how the quiet shoemaker he once mocked had turned into a force he could never escape or defeat. Pierre completed his revenge, but peace never returned to him, because years of hatred sink too deep, and freedom doesn't feel the same when soaked in old pain. According to some accounts, Pierre vanished soon afterward, disappearing from France without trace, leaving behind only rumors and fear among anyone who remembered his name. Some say surviving relatives of his enemies hunted him. Others believe he chose solitude because a life rebuilt on vengeance felt too heavy to carry any longer. His disappearance remains a mystery, but his story warns us about jealousy, betrayal, and the terrifying power of a quiet man pushed beyond the breaking point. Pierre Picaud began weak, but the moment he snapped, history witnessed one of the most extreme revenge arcs ever documented, inspiring legends and novels for generations. And even today, his story echoes, reminding us how far a person can go when truth, trust, and hope are stolen in a single cruel moment. Like, subscribe, share,